Hi everybody, and welcome back. I want to talk about creating pages. Now we kind of did this in the beginning video, showed you how to go in there and create like the Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Alpha 3 pages that you see over here off on the right hand side. And we did that very simply either by going over here to where it says add page, and that will add a page to our Alpha section. Okay, we can do it that way, or we can actually go in there and figure out, okay, we want to put between a couple here, so I'll just go here, click it, and I get my new page that way. That's pretty easy. And you can still also take them and rearrange them down to here if you wanted to. We can go ahead and say, hey, I want this page to be kind of like a sub of Alpha, page 4 here, and I can do the same thing with that too. All right, so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Now, I want to show you another way of creating pages, and we're going to be using what are called page templates. Now, the program comes with a ton of them, and they're geared towards different areas of business. And I want to kind of spend some time just kind of going through some of those and working them and so forth. So I'm going to go over to Gamma. We'll start here. Oh, actually, I won't do Gamma. I've done that one before. We'll start here at Sigma. We'll do Sigma. So what we'll do here is we're going to go back into the Insert tab, and there's an area over here called Page Templates. Now, you click onto this. It has a couple listed that maybe you picked in the past, but if you've never been here before, all you'll get is Page Templates, and then you'll see Page Templates here. Now, what you do is you click onto that, and this area opens up here. Now, we've got about 5 different groups of these templates, one of which is called blank. That's kind of worthless almost, but for the rest of these, they're pretty good. So we'll start out with the academic. Now, if you've been a student in the past and you weren't able to use OneNote, that's a shame, because this program is just geared towards being in school and keeping track of everything, as you'll see going along here. But we have a whole group of templates that are kind of geared towards the academic. And what we can do then is click onto that, and it gives us about 5 different ones in here. Simple lecture notes, detailed lecture notes, and all that. So let's all go in here, and I'll click on the simple lecture notes, just like that. So I go up to the top here and put a different title in here. Give it something like maybe it's Science 101 or whatever, right? And this is like your first one. And you could do something like maybe hyphen, 1 for the first class, right? And there it would be, see? And then what you can do is you go back into here, and for the homework, so whatever the homework that was assigned for that class, you'd go to here and you'd type in that homework there, go down one, type your homework there. Let me do that. And that would be what you'd have there. Now, if you needed maybe a third icon here, what you could do is you can hit the Enter key, all right? And then you can go back to Home, all right? Go back into the tags area here. We're going to talk a little bit more about these later on, but we're just going to use this for now so you can see what we're going to do here. So I'll go back down here to where it says I guess it has a little house there, right? Click onto that, there it is, and I can then put my third item in there, whatever, okay? I can go over here to the topics of today, whatever those topics are, blah, blah, blah. And then I can go down the next one, put more in there, and I can make it multi-lined. I can then hit the Enter key, because this is like the bullets like we did before. And you have something like that. And over here it says the important, facts covered today. And of course you could, put, all the information in there like that. Go down to the next one. Okay. Next one, put it like that, and then hit the Enter key and say, oh, I want to put one more in there. So you can go back into your tags here, all right? And there we've got our little star. We click onto that, and we can put that one in there as well. Now you can go ahead, if you want to maybe expand this a little bit, you can take that and make it wider. Pull this down just a little bit like that. Get a little bit more room, kind of customize it, fit it the way you want to maybe see it. You can do the topics for today up there if you wanted to. Move that around. A lot of different things here. We're going to get into all the other things that you can insert using this program, but right now I want to just focus on just, creating these new pages using the page templates. All right, so let's say you get done with that. That's your first class or what have you, right? And now what you could do is you can go back and you can click on the simple lecture notes again, maybe for the second day, all right? And on this one, you could call this one again, science. We're going to say, science 101. And then we're going to say, class number 2 or something like that. Get rid of the old text there. So in essence, what we're doing here is we're creating these pages within the Sigma group. So the Sigma group could be maybe your science type classes, right? You might have history or whatever. I think you got them all the different groups. They could be in each of their own little tabs. See, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of, and I said in the beginning, kind of think about how you're going to be using this program by looking at my very general, tab names and page names and so forth, and come up with some ideas on how to apply that, to your own, management of your pages. And see, what I can also do with this is I could go in here and I could actually create a page, just a header type page, and just call it maybe, science, something like that, and then, or call it science, 101, I should say that, and just have that. Maybe, put a picture of a microscope or something in there, but that would be it. And then so you're using it as a heading, and then what you can do here is you can take this guy here, indent it, take this one here, indent it, see? So now you got a nice little group there for your Science 101, and then you can have maybe another group for something else. The other thing is you can roll up these groups as well, so you can actually click onto here, and that rolls it up, and you can kind of see that it has kind of a rolled up look to it. You can click back on here again to open it back up again. Now I'll show you the other ones that we have here as well as far as our templates go. So I'm going to go down to here, and then I'm going to tell them I'm going to do now the detailed lecture notes. I'll click onto that one. That's a whole new kind of layout here, but as you can see here, we've got the title, we've got the homework of the topic, important points, lecture topic, summary, all that. So this might make you do a little bit more work, but maybe make that particular class that you took these notes for, you might get a little bit more out of it by having a little bit more detail. So there's a great way of doing that, see? And we can, whatever we name that, we can then pull that in just like that as well. Now another one we have in here is the lecture notes and study questions. Now that's a pretty cool one as well. Again, a little bit different layout, a little bit different information in some areas, but not bad. And I can take that one and pull that one in. I'm not going to bother filling in anything. I just want to kind of show what these look like. This next one, we got math and science class notes. There again, doesn't look much different. And then we have also history class notes. How about that one? Look at that. There's your history class. All right, so whatever. I guess important people, I guess it's kind of geared towards that too, right? And again, I can take these and bring them over like that, and that would be good for that one. Now let me show you a little trick here. Let's say that you've looked through all of these. We've got that one, that one, and so forth. And let's just say that you would like to maybe take one that you really like, maybe like this one here, and customize it. In other words, okay, say to yourself, okay, for the homework, I want to basically take all this and kind of move it down a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll go back up into my insert, all right, hit my insert space, go to about right there, and just pull that down a little bit, see? And then what I can do is I can then take this one, move it down to here, and then take this one, make it really wide, take this one, make it wide, maybe pull it down a little bit, because maybe what you want to do is have maybe 3 lines of information. So I might go down to here, hit my enter key, hit my delete key there, sorry about that. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and hit the enter key 1 time, 2 times, 3 times like that. And then what I'll do is I'll go back to here, on this line here, go back into my home, and go and find my little house icon. I can do that there. And then go to the next line here, and again, put another house. There we go, and we got 3 houses there. That was a lot of work, wasn't it? Just for that. So let's say you did that, and do a few other things, maybe make this wider, and so forth. Whatever, you make some changes. Now what you can do is you can actually save this customized page as your own little favorite template. All right. Now the way you would do that is you have this on the screen the way it is, and then all you have to do is go back down in this templates area there, and it says on here save current page as a template. So you click onto that, and it wants to know the name. Maybe call it general class notes or something like that, right? And then you can go ahead and hit save, all right? And there it goes. Now, what will happen is when you want to use that template, the way you do this is you go back into your templates area here, and you'll see on here, my templates. You click onto there, there's your general class notes. If I click onto that, I get another page, and there it is, all that same information. So that's going to look just like the previous one, whichever one we were on there. But no, it's not going to look like that, but it's going to look like the one we had modified. So it'll look like that one there. There we go. Of course, and we can indent that one, what have you. So pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go over to Delta just to kind of shake things up a little bit. And we're now going to look at the business one. So I'm going to click on the business, and they've got one in here called the project overview. So you click onto that, and you get something like this. And of course, you just kind of fill in with your own information what you see here, what it's asking for a project, right? Now, the other ones that we have in here for business are your meeting notes. And they've got a number of different ones in here. We've got the first one called simple meeting notes. That's pretty cool. Now, in this case, you can go and put your agenda in there for the first one, second one. So there's your agenda for the meeting, right? You've got your attendees. So you can go over here and type in, who your people are that have attended the meeting. And then we have the action items over here, so we can put the first, whatever that is. So during the meeting, what were the goals, during the meeting, and you can maybe put the first one in there, hit the enter key, and it automatically gives you a box there, and that would be the second one. Here would be your third one. There would be the fourth one, right? And then what's really neat is that you can go back in there and click on to the check boxes to show that these things, even though they might have been, we planned on talking about this, the problem was that maybe we didn't get to all of them, so we're kind of checking off what we got to, right? And in this kind of situation too, you might have to, also maybe go down to here, double click that, and that would be, certain notes that you have in there, right? And you can also, of course, hit your bullet button, and that becomes a bullet, so that could be like your first note that you have in there. Hit the enter key, here's your second note, and so on and so forth. So you've got some capability there. All right. Now we've got the simple notes 2. How exciting, a little bit different layout there, but pretty much the same information. The informal meeting notes, there's one. Pretty interesting. You got the attendees, announcements, and so forth, but you can put your text in there. You can do all that we did before. We got the personal one. That's pretty cool. Same kind of stuff. You got your detailed, another one, and then formal. All right. Now, another thing to think about too is, especially with these meeting notes that we have here, you can actually take this once you've filled it out. Maybe you were in the meeting, you filled this out and all that, and let's say a colleague or your boss wants to know, the minutes of the meeting, or what happened during the meeting. And if you've filled this out, properly, this will be very informative for your boss. So the way that you could send this to him or her would be to go, while you're in here, go back up into the Home tab, and you'll see something here called Email Page, right? And this works through Microsoft Outlook. So you click onto that, right? And eventually, there we go. And there it is. You don't get the graphics or anything like that, but you get everything else that was in there, right? All kind of filled in there. So and then you can just address it to wherever you want to address it to, and off it goes. Pretty cool. All right, so now I'm going to go over into my Greek to me section group, and I got the 3 over there, and I'm going to go to Epsilon here, and we're going to look at some more of our templates. Not too many more to go here. We're going to go to the decorative here. And you look through that, we've got quite a few decorative ones. Now, let's take a look at this. We'll go with the first one, the blue stripe title. Pretty cool. So it's pretty much just, you know, kind of making this kind of fancy looking, but for the rest of it, you're still going to put your own stuff in there, all right? Blue wave, and just go on and on. I'll do each one of these so you can see it. So there's the bubbles, there's the chain, there's the sand, and glasses, binoculars, light bulbs, black and green, and so on and so forth. And it just keeps on going. We got quite a few in here, so I'm not going to bore you with all of them, but here's one a little bit further down, kind of interesting. It's called recipe here. I can click onto that, and then you can put, you know, your title and then put a recipe of some sort in there if you wanted to. We've got tulips. Look at that, huh? I'm telling you, just a ton of good stuff in there. So that's pretty much what the decorative ones do for you. And then for the last one here, let's just take a look at this. We're going to go to planners, all right? And then kind of go down a little bit there, and you can see that. So we have in here the simple to-do list. Not bad. And you can see all of your items in there. You get on the last one, maybe whatever you're going to put here for that. Hit the enter key, it just keeps on going and going, see? All right, and then you've got the prioritized to-do list. Look at that one, high, medium, and low. So each of these has their own thing, and as you complete them, you can put little check marks in them, and so forth. And then we've got the project to-do list, and there you go on that. So, not bad. So, like over here, we've got, this is for a project, so maybe here's your third task, whatever, and you can change the text there. Hit the enter key, here's your 4th task, here's your 5th task, and so forth. So, pretty slick stuff there. Okay, so let me show you a little bit more about page management. So I'm going to go and kind of close up the templates. We don't need that anymore. And let's just say for this particular page, right, let's say this one here, we don't need that anymore, all right? And maybe we have some text in there, who knows, but we just want to get rid of it, right? Easy way, you can click onto it like this, right-click it, hit delete, do that. You can click over here, and then do your right-click, and then delete that, and kind of wipe it out. So it's pretty straightforward with that. If you need to rearrange the pages, you can just kind of drag them like that, and that will move them around to wherever you need them to go, just like that. And remember too, we can go back in here, we can kind of pull that in like that, pull that one in there, pull this one in, this one here, and then these 3 here, like that. And then you can go up here, and you can basically tell it to, do that there. So go back over here, we got the little arrow there, we can click on that, click on that, click on that, and kind of really roll them out there if we need to. Now another thing that you can do as well is, let's say that for whatever reason you want to take this guy, we'll find one here, this one right here, and I want to move this page to a different section, let's say, for whatever reason, right? So the way you can do this, pretty easy, we would just do a right click on the page. We go down here where it says move or copy, all right? This all comes up, and you can see down here at the bottom the Greek to me section, and then you've got our original section that we were working with in the beginning. So let's just say I want to move this one to, let's say, gamma. So I click onto there, hit move, just like that. Now I'm going to go back and click on my little back arrow there, go to sigma, gamma, sorry about that. Go back to gamma, and there's my epsilon, okay? And you'll notice too that it also brought over the sub pages that were within that. So that's kind of a neat little deal there, that it does that so easily. So that's very easy, especially if you're, let's say, in classes and you're moving lecture notes back and forth. What a great way of really kind of getting things where they need to be. Okay, so now let's say that we've got in Lambda here, we just have these 4 pages. And what I want to do is merge this, or basically copy all these into, let's say, Delta. Okay? And this is what we call merging. So here's what Lambda has, and here's Delta. All right? So I'm going to go back to Lambda. All right? I'm going to do a right click on it, and there's an item on here called merge into another section. So I click onto that, and I specify where I want to merge it to. So I want to take Lambda, and I want to put that into Delta. So I click on a Delta, I hit merge, all right? And it says on here, are you sure you want to merge it? It can't be undone. I say, yes, I do, so I merge it. And then it says it was successful. Do you want to delete the original section called Lambda? All right. Now, I'm not going to do that this time, but if you did say delete, then this would get deleted, and then all we'd have is Lambda, the Lambda pages in Delta. So I'm just going to say no for this, but normally you would. But there's your Lambda pages, and you can move those around as you see fit. Now, another thing I want to show you with your pages, and this is just, I don't know if this is a glitch or something with the program, but I'm going to go down here to the page 4 here of this particular section. And, okay, so I put all these notes in here. What if I want to get more notes in underneath here? I mean, I can't very easily, well, I guess I can scroll down a little bit there. Okay, there it's kind of let me get in there. But you can see how by just kind of clicking that, it's going to let you get down a little bit further in there. Okay, another way of doing it, okay, if for some reason that doesn't work for you, okay, because I guess my point is when I'm trying to like wheel down, I'm not able to get down any further there, okay, but hitting either this guy right here, that will let me go further down. The other way, which might be a little bit more extravagant, you don't need to do this, but let's just say, so you know what you can do as well, you can click on the insert over here, right, go where it says insert space, right, and then go down about right here, hold down your mouse and just kind of drag it down a little bit and let go. Oop, and you gotta do it just right there. So I'm gonna go down like that, all right. It's not catching. I'm having a little trouble here with this one. Okay, so maybe I'll just kind of do something like that. Yeah. Okay, well, it's not working, so it might be something I'm doing wrong. I don't know, but in any event, though, this would probably be the way to do it. Okay, so that's one thing, all right? Doing it like that. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that if you're trying to put something in between, let's say maybe you want to put something in between this section and this group here, right? Again, we can go back into the insert and hit the insert space, go about right here, hold down your mouse, pull it down a little bit, whatever you need it to be, let go, and now you got your room there to do what you need to do. Okay, lastly, let's say we want to go and print something. Okay, let's say we've got our, I don't know, maybe this one right here. Let's say we want to print that out, okay? So all you have to do is you go to File, you go to Print, all right, and then you just go ahead and tell it to print. Now, I'm just going to do, because you can't really see that, through the video here, I'm just going to do a print preview and show you what you get. So there it is. It basically will shrink it down, in size so that it fits the width, all right? And you can also go in there and say, well, maybe I'll flip it around like that and make it a little bit bigger. It won't have to squeeze it as much, doing something like that. And then you go ahead and hit print and off it would go. Now, you might have another kind of situation where you've got a page like this where it just keeps on going and going and going, all right? So what's going to happen with that? Well, what it'll do is we'll go back into File again, we'll go to Print, and then we'll go to our Print Preview, and you can see that it comes up, it says that the current page is split into 3 pages. Now, it's picked up on the landscape that I did last time, Normally what would happen, it would have come in and done that. And that would just give me then 2 pages. So there's the first page and there's the second page. So it might be better that way. Or, again, you go with landscape, it's going to be an extra page, but it's a little bit bigger. You kind of work it like that. And this kind of brings up something I had brought up in the first video, and that is, do you want your page to be kind of like this auto, type as much as you want, just keep on typing and so forth, and then you'll end up with something like this, where you're not able to control what you want on each of the pages. So the other option, then would be to, instead of, setting up like one page, like just a single page that has all that stuff in there, you might end up maybe creating 3 different pages, right, with just enough in there. So, let me just back up here. So what you would do is you go in there and you'd say, okay, I'm going to go to my view, I'm going to go to my, my paper size here, right? And then I can go from auto and change this to just letter, all right? And then I would conform what I'm doing here, right? Down to there, maybe squeeze this up a little bit. And then I would maybe create another page and maybe cut and paste into that second page and maybe into the third page as well. So you'd end up having multiple of these, but you might get something where you might just have them all, have maybe the first one the way it is, and then the other 2 indented, or whatever number of pages you end up with, and do it that way. All right, so those are the kind of things you have to think about when you're, working with pages, and whether or not you're going to be printing. If you're not going to be printing, and you're just going to be using this solely just with what's there, then you can just go with the auto type size there. But like I said, if you want to get it to fit, perfectly on each page, then you make each of your pages just the the 8.5 by 11, and then you would put what you need to put on the first page, create another page, and put your information in that by doing the copy and paste. So I could go and select a chunk like that, hit cut, do a right click, and hit hit cut, and then I can go to my next page and do that. See, so pretty straightforward, I think. So let me go back. I'm going to change this back to being auto. All right, and I want to show you another little thing here as well. So I'm just going to stay on this particular page here. Go ahead here into File. So I want to make a PDF out of this, right? So I'm going to go to File, right? Go to Print, all right? And then I'll just tell it to print, just like that. My little print dialog box will come up. And what you do is you go and you find the PDF. And what we want here would be either, well, if you've got Adobe Acrobat, or you got the full-blown version on your system, then the printer would be, or the Adobe PDF would be for that. If you don't have Adobe, the full-blown version on there, then you'll end up getting Microsoft Print to PDF, right? So I'll just do that one so you can see this. So I click onto that, go ahead and hit OK, all right? So you'd end up giving the name, whatever you want to call it, right? And then you could also navigate to wherever you want to save it, but I'll just leave it where it's at. It's going to go in the Documents area. So go ahead and hit Save, just like that. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and open it up, and you can see what we get here. So there it is, and there's the first page, there's the second page. I can zoom out so you can see a little bit better of it there, but that's what you get. So that would be an actual PDF. You could then maybe send to somebody via email if you wanted to. Okay, so I think that's about it. So hopefully this comes in handy for you, but we've got a lot more videos coming up here, so this should give you everything you need to know about pages, I think, right? All right, appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next video.